Let's turn to Paul Ejime, who is a global affairs expert and, of course, a very senior journalist at that. Thanks very much, Paul. First, maybe before we discuss the ECOWAS court, concerns, ECOWAS generally, the CSOs just finished, a consultative meeting, so to speak, in Dakar, Senegal. You were part of it. What were some of the resolutions? What were some of the troubling issues that you sat down to articulate?
So, thank you for having me, and good evening, viewers. Yeah, I was there as a resource person, and they looked at a wide range of issues, including the institutional reform at the ECOWAS that you are talking about, and the fact that the organization seems to be losing relevance and confidence of the community members or citizens because of ineffectiveness. And they came out with
sorry, Paul, is it as a result of poor leadership or unwieldiness of the commission, overstaffed, as some people will say, it's lean resources going to pay overhead costs, and no great institutional development, that would interlink or drive development in the sub-region? Are those some of the issues?
It's a combination of all what you have mentioned, and particularly leadership. Because here we are, if you have a place that does not have a visionary leader that can, be proactive and then not reactive, not wait until things overwhelm before you respond, that is going to create a problem. ECOWAS used to be of all the regional economic communities, ECOWAS was on top because of this its proactivity. Remember the Liberian Civil War, the Sierra Leone, Guinea, all over. But for the past 10 years, I think there has been a dampener on that, and it has to do with leadership and also the fact. But remember too, that an organization can only be as strong as its weakest member. So if all the members are having difficulties, security, poverty, and all sorts, that will impact what ECOWAS as an organization can do. So, but on the wilderness that you mentioned, I think for whatever reason, they woke up, how many years ago, it was 9 commissioners, and then they moved it to 15. Saying that all the 15 members must have a commissioner. That was, I don't know how they arrived at that, because was it to bring, to promote commissioners? It was to, execute community projects that will impact the lives of almost 400 million people in the sub-region.
And these are some of the issues you looked at in Dakar.
Exactly. So they now said they are coming back. I think the CSO said that ECOWAS does not need any more than 6 commissioners. But I also know that the Council of Ministers, they have recommended 7 commissioners. So, well, if they are saying 6 and then there is 7, it's a good beginning. But that alone can also not do the magic. It will also depend on the character and then the efficiency of those who are going to be there. It is the recruitment process that is the problem, because it's zoned, this zoning thing where countries will have to bring, and at times it boils down to party loyalists, because if you are going to see anybody representing country A or B, if you are not in the good books of government, you are not likely going to be nominated. So that is, but we would like to see, for instance, at least for the president of the commission, to do what AU is doing, get experts, some consultants to look at, to handle that recruitment, so that you have the best. Advertise it and then let everybody apply. Because that will be a point of entry. The other 6 can come from all these other ones, but the one, because you are not telling me that in a country, even if it is zoned, you will still have to get the best. But that is not happening now.
You mentioned the AU. And some African, experts and the rest will be wondering that is the AU a best, example to this situation.
No. What the point is not nothing is completely or totally bad. At least AU saw that they were moving somewhere, and then Kagame and other people, after Madam Zuma finished, they saw that they were moving towards...
they were drifting.
So they said, okay, listen, let us, because our chairmanship or chairperson was divisive in 2012, and so nothing happened. So they now went for the reforms and said, okay, let us have a way of, and you are going to bring Africans to do that. There are Africans, there is more foundation, there are others that can sit down and give AU and all the regional economic communities the kind of leadership that will drive, because they are supposed to be the engine of this integration or unity that we are talking about. Without the regional economic communities, there is nothing AU can do. You have seen AU, what is happening there. They can't even quench the fire in Ethiopia, where they are based. So how can they you are right. They are
not the best example.
Yeah, in
really.
Terms of, now it is
in terms of leadership,
yes,
in terms of integrating Africa,
yes.
in terms of, having
Yes.
one common currency, like the euro in Europe.
Yes,
Sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
Let's quickly look at the president of the ECOWAS court and what they came up with. 301 judgments, in the sub-region. Only just about 30% have been honored. That's supposed to be, a great instrument where justice, fairness, unity, and the rest are, code-driven.
I mentioned something here that charity begins at home. These are parliamentarians that are sent to the ECOWAS court by their member countries. What is the level of compliance of court? What is the judiciary? How does it look? How is the justice system in most of these countries? So if it is not, it is garbage in, garbage out. So if they are not, don't expect them to do magic when they come to the regional level. When at the national level, they cannot deliver. So that is the challenge. So it has to happen from at home, and then you extrapolate that to the regional level.
So there is an ingrained mentality, and that now dovetails to a kind of incapacity where people can't really get justice then.
That is varying towards that, and that is because they lack. One is the political will. When people talk about political will, but if judgment is given against a country, and that country has signed, is a signatory to the ECOWAS protocol, why would you not adhere to it? Why will you not, comply? So it borders on leadership, from leadership at the national level, and then moves to the regional level. And so they have to work at it. And the judiciary and the parliament in all the countries must now sit up to deliver justice to their citizens, to their nationals, before you now talk about giving justice to community citizens. Because if you don't do that, I don't see how there's no magic. You can't give what you don't have.
So, as an global, affairs expert and one who studied all the nuances in the ECOWAS Treaty and Act, are you suggesting, or will you be suggesting, a kind of rejigging of some of the contents of that treaty?
Chris, these instruments are there. The devil is in the implementation. Have they actually implemented what is there before you now begin to talk? Because it's very easy to say when there is any issue, say change or amend. And that is part of the problem. We see where amendment of constitution has landed most of the countries. They are not doing it with the kind of
favor.
With the interest of the masses at heart. If they are going to do it, they are looking at their selfish interests. So it is not, you can, because at the time laws are made, that is why you have provision for amendments. But have they really tried what they have? Let them obey. Do you require another law to make you obey, comply with the judgment that you have signed? That otherwise, why did you set up the community court? It was part of the 1993 revised treaty that brought both the parliament, the court, and all that. So if you don't, and the justices, all of them are also they also come from the countries. So if but we don't want to have a situation where the food is not good and the soup is not good.
No, right.
So let us have something at least. So let them start from their own home places.
That's very proverbial. Thanks so very much, Paul Ejime. He's a global affairs analyst for Coming Always.
Thank you for having me.